Hi everybody, Christine Bertram coming to you live from the Hive here in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. Oh, we made it! It's Friday, TGIF. I am not certain if it's a little bit dark in here. I guess I could unplug that for the time being and see if this light makes a difference. Oh, that still didn't plug in. Wrong cord. So, oh man, we made it, you guys. What a day. I don't know if you guys are running around like chickens with your head cut off, but that seems to be the normal. My mom always says that I don't let the grass grow under my feet. So let's see if this plugging in this light makes a difference. We're back up in the mini hive. Okay, yeah, kind of a little bit. We're back up in the mini hive today. So the lovely ladies are downstairs kidding away. I have Gloria and Rhonda and my mom down there. And I'm so excited that they could cross off the list. So the lists I was talking about earlier in the week with all the classes. Oh, there's my ruler. With all the classes listed. I was looking for this last night. It has all the classes listed that we're kidding for the month. And I don't know if you guys are like me, but I love check marking things off of a list. I will add things to the list just to check mark them off. And so they finished kidding up the last two cards for the benefit, which is pretty amazing. So that means that classes or event is all kitted. I have the cards here. I'm going to really be trying to promote this class more than any of them because we were really, really aggressive in our forecast. We have the exact same amount that we did in the fall. And I thought, well, if we did it in the fall, let's see if we can make it happen again. Make it happen again for the spring. And I don't have the heart to move this little man right now, you guys. He's sleeping away. This is where I normally keep the purple blanket that Mary Lemke made me, which is actually a card. And Bigger Tigger, he does take up the entire camera. If you can see this, he's bigger. He's my big boy. But the card benefit is what I'm really trying to promote the most because it's for a good cause. Your donation goes straight to the organization that you pick, either Autism, Healing for the Ages, or MS, or divide it up however you want. And you either can make 6 cards or you can have them made for you for an extra $5 donation. And we've got the Paradise Garden or Poetry designer paper featured. I'm so excited. We had about 46 people that were registered before yesterday, and now we're up to 56. So we had 10 people register. We are planning for 192. So that's a long way to go, but we'll get there. And we always get there somehow. But that's a cute little card on a card. And then for this one, looks like that. And so I'm going to try to show these off as much as possible. I know that there are sometimes people who don't generally take classes with me, but when it comes to the card benefit, they make the donation to help with the good things that we're doing here. So we've raised, I think for the Wounded Warrior Project, we raised like $13,000 for that back in the fall. So yay. So that's what we're working on. The other thing now, they're staying a little later and they're going to help us kit up the Let's Just Stamp card classes, the card kit. So Let's Just Stamp is going to be done. Oh man. So lots of stuff that we're working on, and Amanda was here today. For those of you who have sent me checks recently in the mail, I got through my pile of mail. I hadn't looked at it really, you guys, it's so hard. I don't mean to do that, but I hadn't looked at it since about 2 or 3 days before I left for Long Beach. And I've been home from Long Beach now about a week and a half. And so the pile was getting bigger and bigger. And so we got through that pile, which was amazing. Pretty good. So I still have, if you've sent money via PayPal or Zelle, we're still working on processing those payments. But I was talking to Kelly about it yesterday because she was getting a little overwhelmed. And I could see it in her face. And I said, Kelly, it's a lot. It's really a lot because she's trying to do more with stamping so that eventually she can transition away from the part-time teaching that she's doing and do Stampin' Up! Full-time because she sees me and she loves watching what I've built, and she would love to also have something very similar in the future. So she's working really hard. And I said, yeah, it's really hard to do in a day. You're processing registrations, and then you're kitting up cards, and you're designing cards, and you're responding to emails, and you're processing payments, and it's like everything comes at you all at once. And then she's like, well, then add on to that, I've got stuff with my boys and my kids, and I've got stuff with my boyfriend, and I have stuff with school, and I have this. And so I'm like, I know. I may not have boys or girls or children, but I do have these little guys, right? And Tammy Sikolik brought me a little slip of paper, and I found it way after she brought it to me, and it's on the windowsill downstairs, and on top of it, she laminated it. It's like a piece of paper typed out, laminated, and it says, there was a girl that had every intention of doing all of the things, but then the cat laid on her lap. and I'm like, oh, that happens. And what, we don't want to disrupt our pets or our kids, right? So we let them lay on our lap, and then all of a sudden the night passes, and then you get tired and you go to bed, and instead of doing 10,000 emails, you give your love to the kittens and your kids, right? So, but I thought that was really cute. So every time I pick up the knife, I see that, and it just makes me chuckle every single time. So, all right, I'm pretty sure that we're live. If I look back there, I can see me wearing a purple shirt, so I'm live. I forgot to bring my phone that I watch your messages. I forgot to bring that upstairs with me, but you guys are going to be very proud of me. Look what I run. And there's only one cat fur on it at the moment. And so I don't have to use my nasty fur-ish like double-sided tape from last night. Oh yeah, that was not good. So let's see. I know we've got a bunch of people here with us. Susan Bellamy from Florida. Hello, my friend. Hi, Sherry Ott. And you still cannot register for game night. Well, that's really odd, Susan, because everybody else has been registering. So I don't know what's going on, because I had about 10 people share their lucky numbers via the form, and I don't know what. I think I need to understand. Send me a screenshot of the link that you're trying to get through. I think it was odd well, it is odd that you can't do it, but 10 other people have done it. So there's something going on, but I don't know how I can help you fix it. So I want to help you get it figured out. And worst case scenario, just email me your 5 numbers and I'll insert them on the back end. It's like, maybe we don't want to spend time trying to figure out, and you just send them to me, because that will take me 30 seconds. Hi, Kelly Sheridan. She says, hello, kittens. So we have bigger Tiggers here. Honey Bunches of Oats is over here. And then Hunky Noodle Boy is on my white chair back over there. He's on they all want my chair. So Honey's on my chair here. Hunky's on my chair there. And bigger Tigger would normally be on this chair, but he's on the blankie for now. Hi, Debbie Gass. There's Randy Schultz. And I did just upload the recipe cards. Hi, Connie Moore. She had trouble writing the directions, and she hopes it makes sense. I'm sure we'll figure it out. I looked at the recipe card, and I see that you put on here, it is a tuck and double reveal card. So I did kind of Google that, and I tried to get an idea of what it meant. So hi, Vanessa Ritter. Hi. It's not dark. Okay, perfect. So we'll have to keep an eye out on this phone up here, because it should be charged 100%. But if that one starts to die, then I'll unplug the light. There's Shannon from Southern California. Hello, Karen Wetstein. And you should write me another one. Definitely, Kelly. So I'm going to make a note, because Connie asked for more as well. And I have a note for her to pull some recipe cards for her. I can mail them to you, Kelly. I'll mail you my recipe card so that you're on my form. We'll send you a recipe card, SCI, and then also Connie. I'm going to send Connie 3 of them, I think. Unless you want more, Connie. I'll send you 3 otherwise. All right, so I made notes of that. There's Donna Grushke. And Debbie said she forgot to pick a group when she registered yesterday. Oh, so just tell me who you want, Debbie, instead of doing another registration. Just tell me which of the organizations you want. If you want all 3, if you want 2, or if you want 1, just tell me in an email, and I will go and copy and paste that into the back end. Hello, Mary Lemke. And Donna didn't see the game night on the form. So game night is create and play, so we called it create and play. And Susan said she did do the form for the numbers. Perfect. So Donna, there is, okay, here's the deal. Well, I'm going to flip this down. For those of you who want to fill out the registration form for game night, or create and play is what we're calling it, it is go under events. I believe I have it out here on the 9th. It's called Create and Play Card Workshop. And when you go to this event, I don't have any of the links yet created for YouTube. I haven't gotten that far. But it says right here, also, please click here to submit your 5 lucky numbers to Christine. And so when you click on that, it takes you into the Create and Play register with lucky numbers here. So you can put your first and last name and then just list out your 5 numbers. And this, you guys, this just helps me. I used to get these numbers in text messages, in a written letter, in Facebook messages, in a phone call sometimes, and also in email. 5 different ways. And I was pulling out my hair trying to manage that. So by using a form like this, everybody's answers come in and I have them all in one central spot, which is pretty phenomenal from a tracking purposes. So Donna Gruski, you said you didn't know where the form was. So hopefully by showing you that it's in the event on April 9th, and you guys, I still got to update that. I got to make a note of that. I said it last night, 5 cards for Create and Play. All right. So yeah, I decided to do 5 cards instead of 4, but it's in here. It's just got to scroll down a little bit to that section. And there's also a door prize form too. So you guys could already start filling out for the door prize. And I'm going to say that because I always get to the day of the class and I do the door prize and people say, I didn't know there was a form to fill out. So the door prize, anybody can fill out the door prize form. So if you don't forget to fill out the door prize form, click here. And again, it's another form that populates and you can go ahead and fill it out. So yay. All right. Well, it was thinking. It was thinking really hard. The little bar was hardly even moving. So I'm not going to keep using up data while I'm trying to do a live. But that form should work. Okay. So hopefully that helps. All right, you guys, I'm buying Bigger Tigger some time so that he gets a good little nap in here. So Penny Powell, my sunshine friend. Hello. Hello, Deanne Dawn. And all right, so now I'm going to set this phone over here and see if that'll stay. So let's talk before oh, look, he's curling his little toes. Oh my goodness, you're so cute. Okay, so this recipe card. So you don't have to take a picture from here. I'm going to share with you where you can get it. In my events calendar for today's date, which is March 27th, if you go to Share, Create, and Inspire, if you scroll down towards the bottom, I added pictures. So from here, you guys can hard press on your phone and you could download the image, or you can just look at it from here, right? You can take and go like this and look at it. There are 3 pictures because there's a front to Connie's recipe card. There's a back, which is this one. And then she also has a little extra piece here where the instructions continue, which is perfect. So I have it in the event where on my website. The other way you can find it is if you're in Facebook and you go to Cards by Christine and you go into the events calendar under More Events. Right now, currently, we have Share, Create, Inspire happening. If you go to the discussion, I have pictures as well. And from there, you can hard press. Oh, let's see here. If you tap on it, tappy. If you tap on it, and then, oh, on my phone, there's 3 little dots. And you can save to the phone, right? So there's different, or you can share that picture by emailing it to yourself if you want to, or sending it to yourself. So just some ways that you will get these recipe cards without having to take a screenshot. I did a nice little picture so you don't have Bigger Tigger. Now, if you want Bigger Tigger in the picture, you can definitely take a screenshot off of this right now. And this is going to be a little bit of an intense card, Connie. I see lots. I definitely know it's an intense fun fold. I think I'm up to the task. I did pull in some things. So we're going to open up Connie's card. I love it. She puts a little sticker on here. I'm going to open this up at the end of class to see how similar or different it is. My goal is to use the new product of the month. And it's not necessarily new anymore, but it's close to new. This is what was launched in early March. It's called Notes of Spring. And there's some special sentiments in here, especially for you, a little note of thanks and happiest birthday wishes. Now, we've used those before, but I haven't used any of the other stamps. So I'm really hopeful. My goal is I've studied the recipe. My goal is to make a card that uses the deer, I think, little Bambi, and maybe the foliage. The card I have in mind, I don't know if it'll work to put the bunny or the goose on because in proportion, it's like this is the same size as the baby deer. In real life, a deer is a lot bigger than the goose or the bunny. So I'm going to make a little like front panel thing, I think, is what I'm thinking. I mean, I did a little homework, so I have an idea of what I want to do. But I think I'll probably use the grass here. So like my goal is to use the Notes of Spring product of the month. Now, for anybody who gets the product of the month through me, you can only order one of these per email address, right? So if you only have one email address, you get one. They've limited it to one per customer or demonstrator. And what happens is I collaborate with 7 other people, and I'm growing this. In the beginning, we had about 12 or 13 people interested. So my goal was to have about 12, and 3 or 4 people weren't. They kind of backed out right as we started. So I have 8, but I'm looking to add 4 people to my tutorial so that there's even more content for people. And what happens is if you order the product of the month through me as your demonstrator, so like you're a customer and you get it through me, or if you're on my team, the Be Happy Stampers, if you've spent $75 or more in the month of March, I'll also send you the tutorial. So it's a team perk, and it's also my customers get a benefit by ordering it, because you can really technically get it from one demonstrator. So I really appreciate when people pick me as their demonstrator to get the product of the month. So I do try to go back too, as long as the product of the month is still available. Like let's say December's is still there. I try to go back every month and check to see if anybody ordered it since I sent the tutorial the last time. So I try to make that up. So that's what I'm going to use here, or my goal. And then the other thing that I am pulling in is some of the paper that is from Nature Walk. So there's this one pattern that is more tan, and then there's a green. And I was thinking of using that only because, let's see here, Tigger. Is that going to fall apart? So I have a Nature Walk card that was created for class. And it looks like this. Tigger, you're stretching. You're moving all my things. Mom, you better not make me move. I'll be kind of sad. So this is the card that I was kind of casing in terms of colors. So I've got mossy and some espresso and some beige. So that's why I pulled in that. So I want to make a more naturally nature card. So that's why I've pulled in these colors. I'm really hopeful that it works. The designer series paper, excuse me, that we've got here, it references, we've got a cardstock 1, and we have a cardstock 2, right? So I've got mossy and beige, and then there's a DSP 1, and then there's a DSP 2. So I'm hopeful that we can make this work with it. And then I also have some linen thread here, and I have a pile of new products. I have a pile of new products here, you guys. I got my pre-order in, and so after class, I was going to go through and show you what I've got for the new ink colors. And it's really interesting that these are magnets, so they kind of have a little bit of stickiness to them in terms of the magnetic force. So I thought, ooh, I wonder if I could use Peaceful Pine or Hydrangea Hue in this at all. And then the other thing I brought up are the 5 new ink colors for the ribbons. So pretty. You guys, I'm a ribbon person. I say this every now and then, that I always try to incorporate ribbon on every card that we design here. And Jean and I started that back in maybe 2016, 2017 when we were designing together. We always said we made a pact that we were always going to try to include ribbon on every card. These are amazing. So I brought these up too. I thought, oh man, look at those pretty gems. Some of those might look really nice on the card. So these are some of the new gems that we could, as demonstrators, you can pre-order. So for those people who aren't demonstrators and you're customers, you're amazing. I love you. If you ever consider joining Stampin' Up! And becoming a demonstrator to buy at a discount, right? Because that's one of the biggest perks is you get a discount. And when you shop from yourself, the other, I think, big perk is that you get to pre-order. So you can pre-order stuff early in case it does happen to run out. And they always get more, right? But sometimes in the beginning of a catalog, they don't know what's going to go fast or not. And then I was able to pre-order all the markers too. So I don't know if I can use them or not, but I brought them along. And the other thing I brought too is maybe after class is done, I'll go through and show you some of the pretty new designer series papers that are in the pack. I brought this guy up too because there's a new basic black Stampin' Up Stampin' Hybrid pad. So I brought that too. Maybe we could stamp with that and see how that looks. So Bigger Tigger, I've bought you a whole bunch of time, and the ladies got to see how amazingly handsome you are, especially when you curl your toes and you stretch like that. Oh my goodness. So, well, we are going to have to move you, buddy, now because the ladies want to make cards. They don't want to stare at your handsomeness all day. Right, ladies? As much as we love Bigger Tigger, we're going to rebel rouse him, and we're going to see once if he will move on his own. Come on, buddy. Oh, big yawn. Okay. It's like, Mom, you're annoying me. Your voice is horrible. You're waking me up. Don't splash water on me. I'm telling Dad. All right. We're going to take this handsome lump here, and we're going to find a spot for him right here. Oh, there you go, buddy. Yeah. You want to see where I put him? Did you see them? I put him right in the box back there. He didn't even move. He stayed right in the blanket. See? He's all right. Kitten's okay. All right. So let's get the party started, all right? Enough shenanigans for now. All right. Let's get a paper trimmer. And that's down in here. Let's see here. This guy right there. Let's grab you out. Put you away. Oh, Bigger Tigger. He's so handsome. He's sitting like a king. Can you guys see this? Oh, that's a really close up of me. Hang on. Look at that. Look at that. He's like, yeah, look at me. I'm like the king over here. He's the king of the castle is what he is. All right. Enough chitty chat. Let's make a card. So let's get jiggy with it. We have a base. It's all about the base. No trouble. I just got to see the close up of my face too, like up my nose. So, all right. 8 1/4 by 5 1/2 tall. Okay, so 8 1/4 by 5 1/2. I'm going to do that out of the Mossy Meadow. So 8 1/4 by 5 1/2. I'm going to cut the 5 1/2 first. So that basically cuts my paper in half. All right, put that off to the side. These are great because they have an arm and that you can make it so that it goes longer. So 8 1/4. 8 1/4 right there. So it's basically taking off 1/4 inch. Then we need to score it 1 3/4, 5 3/4, and 7 1/2 on the 8 1/4 inch side. Now, I absolutely love the scoring board for this. I generally never use this thing for scoring. I find that I score much better when I use the scoreboard. So it says 1 3/4. I generally use the bigger ball end too instead of the small. And there's a good certain pressure that you should use for scoring. If you press too hard, you might rip the paper. Now let's see this. I can't even read that. 5 3/4. And then we also have 7 1/2. Cool. That's not so bad. Then we have a cube. So this is a tuck and double reveal card, okay? So we have a cube. Our cube is 6 by 4 7/8. So I'm going to keep with the Mossy Meadow. And I had a piece that was left here, and it's 6, so that's great. So I can do 6 inches by 4 7/8. Let's do 4 7/8 first. By 6. Oh, well, that's kind of cool. I didn't realize that, but the 6 inches here, it butts right up with that inner lip there. That's kind of neat. All right, so 6 by 4 7/8 tall, and we have scoring to do on this one as well. The scoring says on the 6 inch side, so we got to make sure we have the 6 inch side up. We score it 1 1/2, 3, and 4 1/2. 1.5, which I think is where that little dude is. Yep, 1.5, 3, and 4.5. Hi, Judy Sharp. Hey, Judy, quick question. I was you guys, I'm still not used to that the video thing is there, so forgive me when I look like I'm looking at something over there. Judy, I just was perusing the registrations, and FYI, I'm so super stoked. We have 35 people that already completed the registrations. Yay. We normally get about 90 to 100, so we're over a third of the way there, which is awesome within less than 24 hours. I love it. But I did see, Judy, that you were interested in the Spring Paper Palooza, and I wanted to make sure that that was accurate. And also, if Pat Bischoff is watching, she also, and I'll reach out to you too, but I was like, since you're here, I'm like, I'm going to talk to you. If you want to just confirm that you want it, then I'll, like, yep, I'll make sure you get it. So, all right. So we have our cube 1, and now we have a cube 2. I'm going to keep my cubes and my cards, all this the same color. I grabbed another scrap here. What do we need? We need a 3.5 by 1 7/8. So there was one piece of paper left on from the piece that I cut, and I'm curious what that size is. It might work good for me. As long as it's 1 7/8 by 3.5, that's perfect. So there was one piece. So when you guys, what I mean by that is we've cut basically, this is one sheet of cardstock. And for all of the cardstock 1 here, it's all out of one piece. So we need 3.5, which is right here, by 1 7/8, which is right there. And then, so the reason that that didn't cut all the way is because I'm not really on a flat surface. So let's see if I can do that again. Perfect. Now, this also needs some scoring. So our scoring here is on the, it says score at 1/2 inch, 1 and 3. And I'm guessing that is on the 3.5 inch side. I'm going to assume that on 3.5 inch side, because we can't do it on that side. So that's what I'm going to guess, and I'm pretty certain it is. So I hate the 1/2 inch. So what happens when I have a 1/2 inch? I have a hard time going into the crack. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll work backwards. If I know I need to score it a 1/2 inch, I'm at 3.5, I'll just score a 1/2 inch backwards, and then I'll flip my paper that way so I don't have to like cross over myself and work. I work smarter, not harder, if I can choose it. Then we need 1 inch. And again, 1 inch is kind of hard, but I can get 1 inch okay. The 1/2 inch is a pain in my butt. And then we need 3 inch. Oh, look at that. It's a 1/2 inch from that side too. So that, I believe, is all of our scoring. And so I'm going to put this away for now. And we'll review this really quick. So we have 3 pieces of cardstock that are all out of one card piece, 1 8.5 by 11. And 2 of them are called cubes, and 1 is the base. It's all about the base. Then we need a cardstock 2 that is for the back of the card, and I have the size here, so let's go ahead. I'm going to try to use basic beige. Let's see how it looks. So it needs to be 3.5 by, I'm so sorry, yeah, 3.5 by 5 7/8. So this piece right here should work. 3.5 by 5 7/8. Let's see. Ooh. I'm gonna guess that's supposed to be 1 by. It says 7/8, but the back of our card is only 5.5. I know, Connie, if you're watching, you can tell me if that's supposed to be. I'm wondering if that's supposed to be 5. So I'll hold the phone on the back here. We might know when we actually start to put it together. But the back of the card, I believe the back of the card is this. And I'm wondering if it's supposed to be 5 1/8 instead of 7/8. So we'll hold the phone on that. Connie says, didn't I say you need 2 of the smaller cubes? You did. Apparently I can't read that, but yes, it does say here, make 2 of these. Thank you. And it's the same thing. So let's Let's all go to A&W where the food's as good as the root beer. Let's all make another cube here. And it's 3.5 by 1 7/8. All right, we can handle this. Thank you. Now, if you could let me know about the back, that would be amazing as well. So we need our scoring tool back out, you guys. We're not officially done with it. Oh, wow. That's a long hair. That's mine. All right, so let's pull it back out. We get to do 2. So if you didn't catch the first one, we'll do this. So remember, I like to go from this side, 1/2 inch. And then we knew it at 3 inches, and we need it at 1 inch. Now I think we're good. So I signed up yesterday for what I thought was the newest Palooza. If I've duplicated, then no. Okay, yes. So Patsy Bischoff and Patty, you did sign up for the same Palooza. What I had in there is, do you want the Spring Palooza? And I looked, and you had already received the Spring Palooza, I think, in your February package. So I will erase that for you so that you don't get 2 of them. That's our goal. All right. So we've got the cubes. We'll come back to that. We'll come back to this back of the card here. And the DSP1 is, you have 2 of these that will go on cube 1. And we have a DSP here for the inside flap on the left, and a small skinny one for the flap on the right side. I think I want to use this paper for it. And if I was mapping things out in my head correctly, my DSP2 is going to be the green one. I think that I want more of the green for the other. So we're going to cut this and see what happens. And I have that I need 2 that are 1 1/4 by 4 3/4. We need a 1 1/2 by 5 1/4 and a 3/8 by 5 1/4. So let's cut 5 1/4 first. Honey's covering her eyes with her paw. Let's cut here at 5 1/4. So I'm going to go like this and cut off 5 1/4. And then we need 1 1/2. So let's grab our 1 1/2 like that. And then we need a 3/8 inch strip. So I see 1, 2, 3. So this is where my 3/8 is. So little guy. And then we need a 4 3/4 by 1 1/4. So I'm going to do 1 1/4 here and lop that off. And then 4 3/4 this way. We'll lop off a little bit here. You're very welcome, Aunt Patty. All right. So those are my DSP1 pieces. Then we're going to flip it over and we'll look at DSP2. So we need a 5 1/4 by 3 7/8, a 5 1/4 by 1 1/2, a 5 1/4 by 3 7/8, and then a small piece. So I'm going to work with my 5 1/4 first. And so this on the back side has this different green. That would look really nicely. Really, it'll work really great. There is that Peaceful Pines would match that. Oh, you guys, this looks like garden green to me now that I look at it. I'm curious if it stamps a little darker. So I have to figure out if this looks universal to me, and it kind of does. So I'm just going to cut 5 1/4 first. And that's just cutting off this little strip. And now we need a 3 7/8. So let's flip it this way. And we'll do a 3 7/8. So that's the one. We need another 3 7/8. So let's grab another one here. And then we need a 1 1/2. So let's grab that here. And then we need a 1 3/4 by 1 5/8. So let's see how big this is. This is almost 3. So perfect. We'll do 1 3/4 this way. And then this is a good little scrap to have for later in life. And then we'll do a 1 5/8, which is right there. Perfect. Okay. It's a little guy. Wait, we make 2 of these. Haha. Okay. Let's redo this. So we need 2 of those. Oh, make 2 of these. And they will go on the outside flaps. Oopsies. Well, now I just cut my paper a little wonky. Well, Jiminy Crickets, because I could have used this little piece for... Let me go see if I have another piece of this. That's why it's so important to read the recipe before you actually start baking it, right? Let's just see here. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man, I have another small scrap here. Dang it, Bobby. Oh, Schniggle Fritzes. Okay. Oh, what do I do? I have this paper, and if I would have paid attention that I needed 2, I would have been fine right off the bat. So let's just see here. So there's what it's saying is you need 2 of these, and they go on the outside. Uh-oh. Hang on. I don't know how long I've been black, but hang on, guys. Oh, man, I didn't know my phone was going to die. Hang on. I'm still here. You can probably hear me. I hope you can hear me talking. Saying as you need 2. Yep, you can hear me talking. You know, and then when I went live, I talked about the lights. I was being stingy with the cord, and my phone is dead. Thank goodness it stays recording, right? Oh, mantle frights. Okay. Oh, yeah. So, how many things can you handle at one time, right? So my green paper was causing me issues. So my phone is, it's turned back on. I was trying to think, what do I do with this green paper? I really wanted this green paper. I have another pack of Nature Walk paper downstairs. Just a few seconds. Yeah, okay, good. I was just talking to myself and thinking about what do I do with this green paper? Do I piecemeal it? Oh, I think I can make it work. I think I can make it work. I looked at this card online to see if I could kind of see what it looks like. I think I can make it work. You guys, I have a plan. I have a plan. I needed to have this happen with the phone so that I can have a plan, right? All right. We can hear you. Huh? It was only out for a minute. Perfect. Okay, so I got 1 light. We're going to go with 1 light. I need to go find a cube. I wonder if I have a cube here. Hang on. I wonder if I have a cube in this drawer. I do. Huh. Okay. All the little quirks that we have. Let's see if this works for the light to plug in, and then we'll be good to go. And I have a plan. The best thing is that it gave me a moment to think about, yay, let there be light. Okay, we have it. I think, let me get the camera back so you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm pretty certain as long as this is charging, we can add back the source. And here it is, my iPhone. Oops, iPhone. Let's see if this works. Yay. Okay, here we are. Carry on, Wayne. Carry on, Garth. Here we go. Back, boom. So what happens is I'm pretty certain that this gets folded back like this, right? And something, oh, is that going to work? I was thinking that we could piecemeal something over on the side here. This is going to get glued down, and then something goes over, and then what I was thinking of doing was piecemealing 2 pieces together and just having a seam and being okay with it, right? We'll just be okay with it. Let's continue on. So we have our 2 back pieces, the front 3 7/8 by 5 1/4 for the back of the card and 1 for the inside mat. So we've got that. And then we have 1 of these, but we really needed 2. And they're for a front panel here, right? And I need 1 from this side too. But instead of doing 1 piece, we're going to make it work, and we're going to piecemeal some things together and call it good. Because you guys, all about the sample so that you guys can be inspired to make one. So we need 1.5 by 4.25. Oh, maybe I goofed on the paper plooster. I already did the one for January. I thought it was referring to the May. Oh, you know what? I didn't actually have in there for the May one, but I should probably have done that. 1.5. So we're going to try this. We're going to put here 1.5. And that's not 1.5, but this right here is. So I'm wondering if we might have a seam, and it's not the end of the world if we have a seam, but look at that. That's going to be really good. It'll be okay. We're going to cut 1.5 here, like this. When you don't want to open up another pack of paper, this is what you do. So you're going to have 1.5, and what we're going to do is 5.25. And we're going to call this good. There might be a little seam, but we're going to try to, I don't know, you guys can even see there's a seam there, but that's what we're going to go with. We're going to make that work. I'm going to set you over here just so I don't lose track of you. Then we still needed another 1.75 by 1.5, right? So this was the 1, and then we need a second one. And do we like that with being a little dark, or do we just grab? We're going to grab from over here. 1.5. So this is great because this paper has no direction really. There's just blotches on it. And if you were using a direction paper, you might want to keep cohesiveness, right? But that, don't laugh at me. Laugh with me, guys. That is supposed to be 1.75 by 1.5. By 1.5. There. When I held them next to each other, I could see that they weren't the same size. So we need 2 of these. We need 2 of those. They're close enough. And we have these guys. Okay. I think we have all of the DSP that we need. Hi, Mimi, late again. No worries. I was late as well. They don't make an alarm for you or sound for you. I don't know. If somebody else knows how to tell Mimi how to make sure that the alerts are on, that would be great. Because I know that when you subscribe to my channel, you can set your notifications. So we need some scraps of paper and for the sentiments and for the front of the card. And I think that this piece might work. And I've got some other scraps of basic beige. And we'll work with that. I think what we need to do is get the card kind of put together, and then we'll worry about what we're going to decorate and put on it from a stamping perspective. So let's see what we can do for following. Fold and burnish the card base. Okay, so we have a valley, and a mountain. So I had that right. So let's grab our bone folder. When I do this, I want to make sure that everything's nice and lined up and flush. So valley is like that. And then a valley, and then the mountain goes back. So it's going to be like this. Okay. Adhere the DSP2 to the middle of the card and the outside of the 2 larger flaps. Okay, so DSP2 is my green one. And so I have these 2. And I might just put this one on the inside, right? So this is what she's saying is to adhere the DSP2 to the middle of the card and the outside of the 2 larger flaps. So the outside of the 2 larger flaps. So this one definitely, I want to use the full piece, and I'm going to use my piecemealing piece over there. So we're going to take this and flip it. When you were looking, perfect time for me to sneak in. Hi, Mary Novak. There's Sherry Johnson. When you were looking for your paper, we can hear you. Okay, got it. So we're up to speed here. So we're going to glue this one and that one for now. Okay, so that goes on the outside flap. And then this one goes on the inside. Like that. Now my last one here, I did try to make it so that you have a nice flow. So I'm just going to flip those this way. I have the craziest glue here. It's completely full and it's thicker than the average bear. So I'm going to flip this one this way. And we're going to try to make it so that you can't see the seam. I think that'll be okay. I don't know if most people would catch that even. All right, next. Adhere DSP1 to the inside left flap of the card base. Okay, so we have this guy right here, and there's two pieces here. So this is the one that we're looking for. So adhere DSP1 to the inside of the left flap and the small flap on the outside right. Okay, so then there's this little guy, and then we have a small flap here, and I think that's what goes here. The small flap may be glued down if you like. Oh, okay. So what she's saying is this small flap, if we want, we can glue it down. Well, that's really good because that really does hide half of that right there. So this little guy, though, I'm wondering, he's just a little bit smaller, but I think we'll just put it right in the middle. So we've got here, adhere DSP1 to the inside left flap of the card base and the small flap on the outside right. So let's flip these over. I think I needed two of that. Wait, this side. Ooh, little skinny dude. And we're gonna go back and look at that. Make two of these. Oops, I'll go back. Hey, that two is always a hard thing. All right, it takes two, baby. Me and you. I'm gonna put that right there. All right, so we need a 1 1/4 by 4 3/4, and I think I have enough DSP for that here. So we need, and that might even be it right here. We need a 1 1/4 by 4 3/4. Okay, perfect. So we're gonna do 4 3/4 here. I want this guy though. So we need 4 3/4 here. So right about there. And then we need a 1 1/4 right there. And then I don't need that little dude. Snip him off. Now I think that's the extra piece we needed. Good. All right, let's continue on. Carry on, Wayne. Carry on, Garth. The small flap may be glued down if you like. Okay, I think I want to glue it down because no one inspects our cards except us and other cards. Exactly. I'm gluing this down because that will help mask my mask. That will help mask my seam. All right, good. Glued down flat. Like it. All right. Fold and burnish cube 1, all mountain folds. All right, so cube 1 was this guy. All mountain. So going around the mountain if you can. I'll be going around the mountain. She'll be something white horses. Look at that. We've got a cube. Fold and burnish cube. You like my music in the middle of me burnishing. Fold and burnish cube 1, all mountain folds. Adhere DSP 1 to the middle 2 sections. Okay, then we've got 2 middle sections here. So let's grab those. She'll be, what is the song, you guys? She'll be doing on the mountain when she comes. She'll be doing when she comes. My mom would know. I could phone a friend and ask her. She'll be something the wild horses. All right. Let's get this little guy in here and this little one in the middle. All right, perfecto changeo. We have here, fold and burnish cube 1, done. Adhere DSP 1 to the middle 2 sections, done. Fold this cube in half and glue the first section to, okay, fold it in half. And glue the first section to the inside of the flap on the right and the last section to the base of the card. So what's happening is we're going to glue this. So I believe what happens is like that, right? So it makes a cube on the inside. So we'll read that one more time. Fold the cube in half and glue the first section to the inside of the flap and the right to the last section of the card base. Okay, I think we can handle that. So we're going to put glue there and on this side. And then it says put it on the inside of the card. So we're going for it. I'm centering it top to bottom. And it should nestle right into there. She'll be driving around the mountain, driving 6 white horses. Thank you, Sherry. Thanks, Aunt Patty. She'll be driving 6 white horses when she'll be driving 6 white horses. She'll be driving 6 white horses. Yeah, you guys, there it is. All right. So we got that section done. So we got it opening like that. Okay. Very good. Very good. Okay. Next, we need our other cubes. Fold and burnish cube 2 on all mountain folds. So we got mountains galore on this card. All right, there's 1 and 2. Okay, 3. Mountains. Adhere DSP2 to the largest section of the cube. Do this to both cubes. Glue these 2 cubes to the card. Okay, so middle section, we can handle that. So let's grab these 2 little DSPs, and they're going to get glued in here. And it's always good to do a dry fit, right? Let's see if that works. That works, good. And there's 1 and 2. These go to the middle section. And the middle section. Perfect. Okay, so those are glued. Now it says do this to both cubes. Done. Glue these 2 cubes to the card. Add glue to the single fold and place against the side of cube 1 near the top. Do this with the second cube near the bottom. So I think what's happening is we are going to be gluing this in like this, that, and then this little guy goes right here, like that. Perfect. Oh, now that I'm seeing this, maybe we could have a bunny and a goose in here. Maybe, we'll see. Okay, so we're gonna glue these. And I'm gonna start with gluing that little 1/2-inch flap that's on the right first. Like that, and I'm gonna kind of set them here as a guide, and then we can get them lined up. I don't know how close they should be together. I guess I'm gonna go maybe like that. Okay, and see, it's not centered. If I hold it that way, I can move that guy there and that guy there, and maybe I'm just going to fold it down. Okay, that looks good. Okay. Let's just give it a moment to bond. Not too close, she says. Oh, man. Well, I can move it a little bit. I can move it a little, but I might have to clean up some glue. Not too close. Okay. Hopefully that's all right. Oh, let's go like that. Okay. Now I can do this. The heat from your fingers really helps to make it bond better. And I didn't get any glue in the middle there, so that's good. Hopefully that's good. I've got about 1/4 inch on each top and bottom. All right. Then what we're going to do is add glue 42 to this flapperoo. Do this with the second cube near the bottom. try and center these cubes on that large cube. I read it now. Okay, well, let's see what happens. Then add glue to the last flap and adhere to the card base of the card. Make sure you do not get glue on that third section of the cube. I love it. Glue or glue. There, it says glue. All right, so what we need to do is have that staged. Oh, man. There's a trick to this. I'm figuring it out in my head as we go. There's always a trick to this. Oh man, hang on. I'm getting glue. So I need this to be right about there. I got a little hot, sticky mess in there. That guy goes right about there. I want him to be straight there. And then this one, it's right about there. All right, so grab your bone folder. That will help you. I think that should help you get these. Now you'll know when you go to shut the card. There it is. Okay, so you want the card. It does shut, I promise you. All right, they moved a little bit on me because I had them in too far. So there's a certain spot, there's a sweet spot where if you fold that, if you fold it, it goes flat and it goes flat. Okay. And then if I got glue, where did I get glue? Yep, I got glue right there. I didn't do it on the bottom one, but I had it out too far on the top. So I got a little bit of glue. So you can take so it's going to be a little hard to get the adhesive eraser in there. I got a sticky mess. I have an idea. Let's get it off. While I can still get in here. There was too much glue happiness going on. And it wasn't stuck quite down. So I can get that off of there. Right there, there's some. I mean, what was happening, it was getting sticky. So the trick is, if this is like that, it should... Yeah, now that's not sticky. And this bottom one was perfectly fine. It was the top one that I had in too far. But now it's not sticky. I saved the day. Yay. Da-da-da, here I come to save the day. Mom said that. She said that this morning. And we're like, Mighty Mouse. She thought it was Superman. And then we were like, no, it's Mighty Mouse. All right. Oh, we got it. Adhere cardstock 2 to DSP 2 and add to the back of the card. So we had here this guy. Oh, yes. Mimi says you could put the embossing buddy in there to deactivate the glue too. So what I'm thinking is this piece right here needs to go on. And I think that we need to trim it to 4 7/8. And what did it say here? It said 5 7. Ha ha. There it is. So it needs to be 4 7/8. That's my guess. This is my guess. I think that'll work. Let's grab this. I knew we would get it figured out when we got the card figured out. We'll just cut a little bit off of that guy. And this now becomes the back piece. So that will get glued back here. Now for those people that hate covering up all that DSP, you could cut something out of there if you really, really wanted. Now what we have is we've got the core of the card ready to go. And we need to zhuzh it up with stuff. What stuff are we going to use? We have Notes of Spring here. And I definitely wanted to try to use the deer. Oh dear. Just kidding. We're going to make it a birthday card, I think, is the plan. I'm hoping. And I haven't stamped, you guys, I've not used these stamps yet, so we're using them together. We're going to try to do a deer, and then the outline of the deer. And I wanted to use some of the grass. So like this goes on top of that, and then I was going to have a little bit of grass. Oh, we could have grass behind him on both sides. And then I was going to do a happy birthday at the top somehow. And I was going to use a little piece. So this is going to, I think I read it ahead. It says stamp sentiments and scraps on the paper and use ribbons, embellish, dyes, punches, Stella, etc. to zhuzh it up, right? So I was thinking of what's going to happen is this goes down flat. And look at me, my seam is right there. I was going to do a little setting here in the front, and I was going to mat it with Mossy Meadow and the basic beige and do a little scenery here with my deer, oh dear, and then some grass, right? So this is what I'm thinking. And I really was hoping that my happiest birthday wishes would fit on here, or I could do whatever, not worried. We'll figure it out. So this is a height of, I'm going to do 2.5 by... You know, I could get a label and die cut, or I could just cut a rectangle here too. I'm going to do 2.5 by 3. Let's see what that does for a palette for us. 2.5 by 3. And then 2.5. And then I want to grab a Mossy Meadow scrap. I have just a full sheet here. And scraps that are really too small. So I don't think that's going to work. And I don't know about you guys, but if I can avoid cutting into a full sheet of cardstock, I will look for a scrap first and avoid that. Let's see if I have one down here. Oh, honey. Hello, baby girl. Look at that. And in the interim, I found that Honey left me a little present. Look at that. She brought me a cat whisker. I didn't pull it off of her, I promise. She was sitting on the chair. I always say it's good luck when you get to find a cat whisker. So I'm going to do 3 3/16 by 2 11/16. So that's 3/16 more on 2 sides for this, right? And then what I'm planning to do is put that on the front here, right, with my little scenery. Right? That's my thought. We'll see what happens. All right. We need some blocks. And we're going to stamp that guy. And we need, there's 2 here. Huh? I was like, where's the other stamp? They were on top of each other. Making babies. All right, there's that. And then we have our greenery. Ooh, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. All right. Let's see. We got to decorate this. That's all the further I had in my head, guys. I'll be honest. So now I have no idea what's happening. So I am going to grab a piece of vanilla. And I have never stamped this deer, so I have no idea what it's going to look like. But I did grab some ink out, and I grabbed these colors. A Bambi outline to me. The left flap gets put under the large cube. Oh man, hang on. I gotta understand that. Oh. What did I do wrong then? Oh, there. Ha ha. Okay, I get it now. I think that's what you meant. This large flap goes under the cube, so you see. But that still shouldn't matter for my thing here, because I'm going to attach it on this side so that when somebody opens this up, it would open up like that. And I was thinking that maybe, just maybe, I could put the duck there. And I could put the rabbit on there, right? Because you've got 2 panels there that maybe need something. Maybe. So I've never stamped the deer before. So let's see what it looks like. I would do the more solid. I don't have a smaller scrap of vanilla. Oh, I do. Look at this. Not too small. I don't keep a lot of vanilla scraps. They get used fast. All right, so we're going to stamp a deer. I feel like Bambi has pecan in her. Hi, baby. What's up, little lady? You woke up from your nap. All right, let's try pecan. I think I think that they have this pecan hue to them. I just want to see what this looks like. That's the tuck. Good. I just want to see. So I did the darker outline first. And we're going to fill this in. With, oh man, all right, pecan. That's not bad. I don't know, maybe, I think. I feel like I was missing part of, I was off kilter unless it's supposed to be like that. We're gonna try it again. I just wanna see one more time. I'm gonna go like that. And then we're gonna try pecan again. Maybe like that. Oh man, it just doesn't quite. All right, that's better. I'll take that. You can see I was off. So I was off there and there. And then when I did the second one, it filled in better. And I like the way that looks, right? So I was thinking that on this piece right here, I've got beige and green. We're going to have a little, no, there's no dies. So you get to practice your fussy cutting if you want this thing popped up. I was thinking of stamping the greenery in the background, putting some grass down somehow, and then putting the sentiment up high, maybe blending some blue for a sky. I don't know. We're just going to keep going until we figure out what we got going on. Mimi says she loves this card, but would not be able to do it for a card chair. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. I wouldn't do it either for a card chair. Unless it's just like a single card that you have to make. It's a beautiful, awesome. So Connie, I know you're still watching. Did you come up with this layout on your own, or did you have a card where you had gotten it, or did you see it somewhere? Just curious where you got inspiration to send this to me. Now we might even, this might be a little bit too much real estate here. My Mossy Meadow is not it's just somehow the ink doesn't stay amazing on here. So if you guys have never re-inked an ink pad, I'm going to show you really quick how to re-ink an ink pad. Let me get my spoon though. We need a spoon. And we need a scrap paper if we're going to do some blending. So let's grab that and this. So with the Mossy Meadow ink, some people put dots, some people do lines. You could do whatever you want. I'm just going to go like this. Something like that, maybe. You do definitely need to use a spoon, though, and blend that around. And that might not have been enough, but I'm going to start with that. When you use a spoon, it really spreads the ink all over the place. All right. For now, we're going to shut. It's always great to shut the ink pads right away so that your pets don't jump on them. Don't get your project in them, and then they stay hydrated better. I was going to stamp this grass along the bottom and see once what that looks like. Okay, I think I'm going to go down lower so that I like my grass and foliage to be growing out of the bottom, not to be hanging out above it. I'm going to do that. Let's see this little guy. I wonder if we do another one, a little shorter. And then maybe we could do a taller one again. Or maybe we'll do a shorter one. Makes it look like the deer is in the brush, like hanging out. And now I wonder if I would have had it a little bit bigger, then it's a little taller than it, right? But maybe that's okay. So then the other thing I wanted to try to do, oh, you know what I was gonna do? Oh man, I was gonna try to blend. I want to see what blue is gonna look like. Hang on, we're gonna do one more thing. I'm gonna cut one more piece because we can do this. We're card makers. We can change mine as much as we want. She copied it from Pinterest. Wonderful. You did have to change the size to fit an A2 card. Nice job. Good job on finding an awesome layout. All right, so we had 2.5 by 3. So let's do 2 3/4 by 3. I made it just a hair bigger. I think that will still... Oh, man. That'll still be okay. I think I need to cut a new green piece then. But we'll figure that out. I want to try to blend. I want to make, you guys, I like real things. Real looking things. So let's see. I have a blending brush. I have a balmy blue blending brush. Does anybody see it? Here's the balmy blue. Blue 42. Here it is. Got it. It was over on my desk. I want to do some sky. I have not ever blended balmy blue on basic beige, but we're going to see what it looks like. I used basic beige because all the other cardstock is basic beige. If this doesn't look good, we're going to maybe consider using... Does Stampin' Up carry a cardstock called Mint Macaron? They sure do. It is retired. And I can show it to you. Because you know what? We're upstairs here. And I have it right here. This is what Mint Macaron looks like. Huh. Look at that, Action Jackson. I have my retired cardstocks up next to me here. So, yes. So, if you're Bonnie Lesbrance, she's colorblind, has a hard time with that color, so she always called it Mint Macacrap because she couldn't see that one so good, and it didn't look good in her eyes. Yeah, Mint Macaron is a good color. So we're doing some sky action here. It's going to be a little dirty, but I think it looks fine on the beige. In the right light, you can see that there it looks more balmy blue, but shadowy, you get the other. So I want to do that towards the top. I have one dauber. Do I have a dauber? Yes, I have a dauber here. Ooh, it's a scrappy dauber. I'm going to put... Ooh, see, it's scrappy. If you guys look at that, you can see the little dots in there. That's because that dauber has seen better days. So let's see. Yeah. Oh man, I don't know if that one's a hot one or not. I think this one's not much better actually. Look at that one. Oh man. Let's see what it looks like. Yeah. Well, I would vote for this one. And we're going to try it. We're going to try in the back and see what it does. Ah, that's fine. We're outside in the environment. We're just going to get a little, and I can throw it away after this. We're going to put a little mossy meadow grass on the bottom here. And it looks like grass and weeds growing up because of that little schnibble that's going on with this. These are not the best daubers. They've lived a good life. They've done what they need to do, but there, we've got grass growing. That's how fast the grass grows around here. All right, now we've got this going on. I think we're going to stamp our foliage again. And I'm picturing him hanging out, and then I really want to have enough room up here to stamp the happiest birthday wishes right on here. So that's my goal. And I'm going to see, I want this to be about that tall. So he's going to be in front. So this one can be a little taller. We make grass down there. And because we made the grass down there, see, now that's great because that one, we got a little more height. And I think we could do the same thing on this one. We could put that up a little higher. And now our weeds are growing in the grass. So they could go up higher, right? So there, he's gonna be right there. And then we're gonna do one maybe down here. And then we'll do one off kilter over here. So we've got our little Bambi hanging out in the meadow. in the mossy meadow. All right, they call me Mellow Yellow. Now, the happiest birthday wishes. I'm just trying to think. I've got, I wonder who wrote the Book of Love. Let's grab a scrap here. And I want to see what it would look like. The happiest birthday wishes is tall, so it needs to be at least 5/8 of an inch. It's not really tall, but taller than a 1/2 inch. So we're going to do like that. And I want to see what that looks like. Oh, I don't know if I like that. I think we're going to go for stamping it directly onto that. I was thinking I'll stamp it just so you guys can see what my mind was thinking about. Hi, Rosie Prouty. I was just wanting to see. So 5/8 is a good size strip for this. What I was thinking was this was gonna, oh, but we could have it up higher. It doesn't have to be on there completely. He's there. It could go up a little bit more. Well, I definitely don't like the angle dangle on there. I think that maybe that should just be straight like that. And then, oh, it could even go down there. Okay. All right. Things are coming, you guys. Things progress as we go, right? I know that I need a bigger piece of mossy meadow. So let me go find one more scrap in the drawer. I'm so glad I'm up here doing this versus downstairs because I don't have all the goods downstairs. I think this piece, I mean, I have all the cardstock, but it was nice having all the stuff up here. Let's just see here. All right, I made it bigger, like Tigger. He's no longer in his box. So we did 3 by 2 3/4. So we're going to do 3 3/16 by 2 15/16. So there's that. Our little Bambi is hanging out right here. Hi, big boy. We were just talking about you. Oh man, here he comes. He's walking this way. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Hi, handsome. I still think that could potentially, okay, so you're at the eye doctor, right? Option 1. I like the Bambi thing. I'm considering cutting off some of the blue at the top and bringing the green down and maybe putting this across the bottom here. And then I will have linen thread. I brought the linen thread out and I was thinking about having a little linen thread and then I wouldn't have as much sky up there. Hi. Hi. Mom, you kicked me out of my spot. I want to come back. Are you going to plop right here? Are you really? No, I'm just teasing you, Mom. Oh, you're a funny kitten. We're going to cut off a 1/4 inch. And so we're going to do that. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4 there. So I like that. So far, so good. That's there. I like it. And then we're going to do this over on the sides. We're going to cut a little bit off the edge here. You guys, these are just scraps, stuff that I'm using. I like the Bambi going on here. So we're going to glue. Oh, man, my phone died again. You guys. Oh, my goodness. How could this phone die? We are charging you. And, wow. 2 times. Oh, let's see what I can do here. So maybe it needs a different block. That lasted a very long time though. Let's see if this block works better. Oh, black again. So what happened was I was live last night and I didn't plug in the phone overnight. So it must have drained the battery while I was overnight, right? So that's not gonna work. Let's grab this back over here. Okay, so what we're gonna do, you guys, I'm gonna let that charge for a second. I'm gonna do things and just show you, because we're kind of at the tail end. We're almost there, but you guys want to see the finished card. And by the time that I get some of this stuff glued on and get a sentiment in there, I think that my phone will be charged a little bit that I can show you. So what I did is I trimmed off a little bit of the blue sky because it looked like it was just a little too much sky. And so all I did was glue that together. And then I'm going to take my Bambi, this little dude right here, Bambi, and we're going to adhere some dimensionals on the back. And we're going to have him. So when I do stuff with animals, I will have their top parts popped up, and then I will put liquid glue along the bottom to ground them. Not because they were naughty and need to go in the corner, but because they want to look like they're flush with the earth. So we're going to put a little bit of liquid glue just right along the bottom here. And then I'm going to put that little guy. What I did is I have him glued flat on the bottom here, and then we popped up right there. Okay? So right, there we go. There. Nice. Then what we're going to do is, let's see if that was charging. Oh, it's still at 0. You are so funny, Tigger. I do have my kitten here. So then what we're going to do is we're going to adhere that. And so you have to be very careful. You don't want to put any adhesive on the part that hangs over, right? So we're only going to put adhesive right on this side here. There's the other one. They're bombarding me. All right, so we're going to put a little... Oh, the phone just lit up. So I've got an apple, which is really great. and we have a honey here. Yep, she's here, you guys. The cats are waking from their slumbers. So I put glue on the one side, and then I'm going to put glue in the middle area here so that I don't risk going over. Yeah, honey, you're so funny. We're going to put it... So I just put a little line of glue right through that middle, and I'm going to adhere. I'm going to adhere that. So here's the question I can ask myself. Remember, I piecemealed that together? You're not going to even see it because this is going to cover up the seam. So I've got this now glued on there. And I got my phone back working, guys. Yay to that. Let's go to switcher. And then the next thing we're going to do is put the happiest birthday wishes on. But we're going to run a little bit of linen thread. And that means, okay, here you go. Yay. Here we are. Back in the saddle again. Okay, very good. So the cats have taken over this area. They really have. All right, so good thing I went and grabbed the tear and tape. So we're going to put one weighting in the wings, and here's the card now so you can see. We're going to put a little piece of tear and tape back here. Hi. What do you guys need, huh? What is going on? Like, seriously? Let's grab the linen thread. The cats have taken over, and so we're going to grab a little linen thread, and we're going to go a tail. Sometimes I like to do loop and tail, and sometimes I like to make circles. So I think what we're going to do is and I have a hard time with random. Let's just say that. So organized chaos is what this is. So I'm going to make a little loop on this side, right? And then I'm going to make a little bit smaller loop on that side. And then now I'll make a little bit bigger loop on this side. So when Gina does this, she's just like all over the place. It looks like a hairy rat's nest, which is intentional. I have a hard time getting it to look good when I do that. So I struggle bus it like this with my, oopsie, I lost that one. So let's put, so it's catching that tear and tape back there. And we're making a little lasso, a little rope here. All right, so I got my 3 loops on that side that are all kind of different lengths. And then when you got them all, that tape that's right in your hand, put that right on there. And now take your scissors and trim that. All right, let's see what that looks like. Oh, that's nice. So we're gonna put that right over there, I think. That's my plan. And we're gonna pop that up with some dimensionals. You have to be careful though, because if you, Tigger, if you put dimensionals on top of this waxy paper, it's not gonna stick at all. So you definitely need to pull that back and put the dimensional onto the cardstock. And then we're gonna pick those off. There you go, Tigger, right on your back for you. I'm telling Dad, Mom. That's fine. He's just gonna be so proud of you that you disrupted my life so much. I'm not disrupting it. Everybody loves me. Is that so bigger, Tigger? All right, so we're gonna put this guy right there. All right. Oh man. So that's good, right? Very manly card. Oh man, that didn't stick. So my sticker, sticky glue didn't stay in place. So what we're gonna do, oh, you know what? You know what would have been a better option instead of using liquid glue there? I would have definitely said the tear and tape would be better. And then what happens then is it doesn't leak glue all over, right? There it is. All right. I love how you don't get rattled. You just keep trucking. Ha! I try, Mimi. Oh, I definitely try. All right. If I get rattled, then you guys are going to get rattled. And we don't need for you guys to get rattled too, right? So, all right. Let's see here. I would have normally, okay. We've got in the stamps here, there are a few more in here. And I think that I would put a bunny and this little goose. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. And I think that they might look cute here. So when somebody opens this card up, they see Bambi, and then they see a little rabbit, and then they see the goose. I don't think that that's going to hurt anything. What I'm going to do is, it says, this makes me miss your kitties so much. I think it's time to start looking for a couple of bonded ladies to adopt. Aw, I definitely agree. So you guys, it just on a side story, it took me, so Summer, I had Summer for 16 years, and here comes Honey again. Yup, that's what she likes to do. I had Summer for 16 years, and in 2018, she had to be put down because she was old and just not doing so hot. And I keep looking over there. And it took me till 2020. He's 3 now. So it took me till 2023, about 5 years before I could go through that again, because it's hard losing a pet. But how my best friend Mandy explained it to me, because I was thinking about it, and I said, I don't know if I want to get more kittens. I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm ready. She's like, well, if you're even on the fence, if you have love to give in your heart, why wouldn't you want to give that to a pet or give that to another animal and give another animal a good life, right? And so that's what happened. And that's all it took for me to hear that. And I sat down for a little bit and I thought about it. I'm like, yep, she's right. It's time. All right. So the back though, you guys. So it's it's 340. I think that what I'm going to do, because you guys don't need me to show you, I'm going to stamp the bunny and the goose, and I will fussy cut them out. And I'm going to put one here, and I'm going to put one here. And then what I'm going to do is decorate the back of this, right? So this, I'm having a hard time with that guy wanting to go flat, but it does. It just needs me to assist it, right? So there's that. The back here, what I'm going to do, because I think all of my stamps are downstairs. I had them down there for class last night, but I have that piece, here it is, under Tigger. I have this piece of designer paper that's going to get glued here. And then I've got this piece right here, which goes in. What I'm going to do is stamp some grass down here. And I think I'm going to take my sponge dauber, and I'm going to sponge that green down here. And then I'm going to find a sentiment from the inside because that says happiest birthday wishes. I'm going to stamp a sentiment here, and I'm going to glue this on here. But he's still down. Yeah, she's up, but he's still, yeah, he's ready for another nap. You lost your ginger bug a couple of months ago and need some kittens to snuggle. Oh, yes. The kittens, definitely make sure you get the right ones that like to snuggle. Honey is like a viper sometimes. She never. So she's like full of just raw sometimes, but like now she's in a mood. She goes from one end of the extreme to the other, and when she wants love, she'll let you have it, and when she doesn't, you're like, stay away from her. But she never cuddles. Where Tigger, if I lay on the couch for any reason and like I'm resting my foot or icing it or heating it up, he will come and lay on my lap if I have a blanket down. So definitely look for a snuggler. Okay, so you guys have an idea of what I'm going to do to finish this card. And I also have these gems right here, which there's this green one in here. These are these new In Color gems. I think I'm going to put a couple greens, like 1, 2, and 1 right here on here. And I'm going to leave the sky. I was thinking about stamping a bird in there, but I think it's too late now. I think we've got enough stuff going on. And I think I've got the card pretty much to where I think this is pretty much what Connie was thinking for it. So I'm going to grab my letter opener, and I have Connie's card here, and we are going to open this up and see how it pans out. So one moment, let me grab my letter opener. Hunky noodle boy. Hi, kitten. All right. Mom, why do you always got set stuff on me? All right, so let's grab this and see what we got here. Ooh. Okay, nice little card protector. I did something wrong. I don't know what I did wrong. I mean, I don't know why, but I'm off. I noticed it right away. I wondered about that. My fold here, this is a little bit wider. I noticed it right off the bat because I wondered about it because there was a lot of margin here, and this is a little bit skinnier. It's off by 1/8 of an inch, and I don't know, maybe I scored it wrong. So let me just look back at here really quick and see what we scored it. Scored at 7.5. Maybe I scored it at the wrong amount, but it looks, oh, okay. And then this, okay, hang on. She was talking about the flap. That must go like that. Okay, so now we're looking good. Look at it. So she's got a label here with the thinking of you. And then when you open it up, let's see. Oh, very cool. Very pretty. Nice color combination. We've got a set of leaves that are sprigging out here. Super cool. And then let's look at the back. Oh, she added another sprig here and then just wanted to send some happy thoughts your way. Very cool. Very nice. So this goes like that. Very nice. Okay, so what happens, that didn't make that big of a difference that I scored that. It just has, mine has a little bit less of a gap here, and Connie's has a little bit more of a gap. But otherwise, that's perfect. It's a nice layer. I can honestly say, Connie, oh, somebody's getting annoyed. What's going on? Nothing to see here, officer. That's a big butt in the camera. Mom, you love my butt. This is true. So, you always say there's more to love. Yep. This is cool. You could also, if you wanted, potentially put like a Velcro dot here to help hold that shut. But I'm good. You guys, I'll zhuzh this up. I'm going to take a few moments. I'm going to zhuzh that up and add some stuff to it. So what's going to happen, Kelly's going to photograph my card so that you guys can still see it. And so when she photographs it, I'll add it to the Facebook event so that you can see what the finish looked like. Well, now Tigger's gone. You guys, you got 5 more minutes? I'm going to stamp the back. I just didn't want to. Isn't that horrible? You never want to disrupt a sleeping or a slumbering kitten or a relaxing kitten. But now that he's gone, I can, well, I still don't have a happy birthday, but I was going to put this right there. And then I have my dauber. I think that was it. I was going to take the dauber and put some greenery down there, kind of thick. I was not going to blend blue all over that. It just seems like a lot of work. Okay, so I've got some grass down there, and I have to just go find a happy birthday sentiment to put on here. And then that will get glued to here, and then I'm going to put that on the back. And then that that matches what she's got going on. And we got some linen thread used, which is awesome. Oh, the gems. Now that he's gone, I'm going to grab these guys. And these are the new in color gems. So we've got Peaceful Pine, Hydrangea Hue, Barely Blush, Golden Glow. Wait, I lied. Crisp Cantaloupe, Golden Glow, and Barely Blush. So I got them learned, which is good. So we're going to do a little bit of the Peaceful Pine. They match here nicely. And then we'll do one. Sometimes that last gem can be, I know where two want to go, but then we'll go right there maybe. So we got the gems on. Remember, ribbon gems are always great to add to cards. And then I'm going to stamp the other animals here. So I got to look up, I think the bunny, what I would do for the bunny, I would stamp that in espresso again on a scrap of vanilla. So let's grab espresso, and I'm not going to use the deer here, but will the bunny fit? Oh yeah, well, look at that little scrap gets used. So we're going to stamp the bunny, I think in brown, and then I'm going to finish the inside of him with crumb cake. Let's see what that looks like. And then the goose. What's your idea for the goose? Let's get you. All right, I can live with that. The other option, now that I'm looking at it, instead of using espresso, I wonder what it would have looked like to use pecan pie. So I'm thinking the outline. Have you guys used your Notes of Spring yet? I'm curious, what would you do for a Klondike bar, but what would you do for the goose? So if I do, I'm curious what the pecan looks like mixed with the crumb cake. I guess bunnies are all different colors too, right? So we'll put you, we'll call him, this one could be butterscotch, right? Oh, that's ugly. Okay, nope. I'm going to stick with the brown. So I was thinking of, I won't cut this right now, but I was thinking of putting, when this opens up, we'd have a little bunny in there. And then the goose. The goose is kind of different. So I don't know necessarily what to make for that. Any suggestions? Maybe it would be better just to stamp the outline on the piece of vanilla. And see let's just see what that looks like. So we've got the outline, because usually they're white to me. So let's just see what it looks like. Oops, that's pecan. I suppose I want to use espresso instead of pecan. Guys, I do definitely have a hot mess going on here. Oh my goodness. Pretty gems. I think they're my favorite new ones out of all. Grays. Oh, gray goose. Mimi says gray. Oh, gray. Well, I got in the brown. I will try. Okay, so that's what the brown looks like. I feel with this, all you'd almost have to do is color in the beak. I'm going to just go get gray granite. I think gray granite could be a possibility. Let's see what that looks like. Let me go get that. Timber. What's up, buddy? gray granite that has a little bit of the brown undertones. Let's see here. Ah, I think I like it. Oh, the body in pecan for the goose. Well, we'll try it. Let's stamp another gray one, just in case we like that. I'll try pecan. I know that we tried the bunny, and that didn't look so hot in pecan. Beak and feet. Beak and feet. Rosie says beak and feet. Just color the beak and the feet. Well, the feet are kind of filled in, so that's not what I want. We want this guy in pecan. We'll see. Okay. You say. Whoa, negative Ghost Rider. All right. I could see that one in there with the beak colored and the feet. I don't mind this one, but maybe this one would look better because we've got all the browns going on. So I guess I think I would vote for the dark one. And I still think, oh, you know what? You know what? There's a Golden Glow blend. I wonder if that could work for the beak. So let's grab that dark one. See what it looks like. Ah, there we go. We'll color right over the top of that. Okay. It's a little bit more brown. I was looking for more orange. Oh, but you know what? I wonder if we mix this with it. This is the crisp cantaloupe. Maybe that will brighten it up a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. Kind of makes it a little bit more orangey. I should have just grabbed pumpkin pie right off the bat, but I didn't. Oh well. So, what are you guys liking for the goose here? I guess I have officially started cutting this one, so we might just be going with this one. And I don't think there's any rhyme or reason to adding this to my square, but I think this guy's going to go on the bottom one because his head's going to hang over the top of the square a little bit, and I don't think that's going to make a difference. So here's our pretty dirty duck. Duck goose. Duck, duck, goose. And let's get... Now, the question is, would you go up in here and get this out of here? Because I'm going to go for it. And cut out this middle part. All right. I was thinking he's going to be hanging out right there. Oh, Mimi wants gray. Make him a mallard. Well, okay, so... And so I was thinking of the brown because all these other ones are brown. I'm just going to cut out the bunny, you guys. You can watch me if you want. Fussy cut. I just want to see what it's going to look like on the inside. And then I pretty much have it done, which is what we were going for. If you're like me, sometimes if you don't finish it when you're right in the middle of it, it's hard to go back and finish it and actually get it done. So I can say that. There's our little bunny, and I was thinking he was going to go right there. So when you open up the card, you've got just decorations on the inside here. With a curry. Yeah, curry would have been perfect. So here, you were saying gray. I'll try this because I have one more guy here that I stamped. But if I did gray granite for the outline, I wonder what gray granite looks like for the inside. I don't know. I'm just, something's not working with me personally with the gaps of it. I wonder if I don't have it right. Oh, I think I'm not doing it right, you guys. I was stamping his beak, and his beak isn't supposed to get it. Okay, this is gonna make me happier. I was going all the way up to his beak, but it really is his head, and I wasn't getting his tail feathers. So I think it's supposed to be more like that. Oh, it's still off. Okay, see this gap right here, you guys, that's what I have a hard time with. I have that gap, and even if I twist it, I don't think it fixes it so much. But at least his beak isn't colored in. So don't know. So let's just see here, this guy now, if that looks better. So Rosie says to stamp off. I'll try that too, you guys. I'll show it to you. Let's show it. So it's just a little too dark. Let's go here. So we got this is Hive. What's up? What's up, babykins? I have a piece right here, actually. I can use, I think, for a scrap. So let's try full strength for the outline, and then we'll do second strength for that. Not doing the beak. Oh, I got the beak. Well, that's better. I can handle that. What's up, girlfriend? Mom, when do you want to play mousey with me? Well, we're almost done, girlfriend. I'll throw the mouse down the steps for you. All right, I can handle that. How do you guys like that one? Better than a brown goose? Mom, don't cut my whiskers. I think that I like this one. So that was second strength for the inside part. And I made sure not to get the beak with the ink. And we colored it in with the golden glow, the dark. Yep, better. Yes, it definitely is. I think we'll cut a second one here. You can see I'm already committed. We're going to make it happen. Yes, yeah, Patty likes it better too. Good. We'll get some feet action here. I'm going to go up in the middle here, get that blank space out. There it is. Okay, so this is gray granite and first strength, and then gray granite second strength, and put that in here. Oh, that's nice. Okay, we'll do a little gluing. We'll get these guys in. I'm not going to put glue on his head. And put this guy with a little glue. The head is going to go over the edge. That's why we didn't put glue on it. I'm going to put him right there. Oh, his head is there. It's pretty much on, so that's okay. And a little bunny. Here comes Peter Cottontail. There it is. Oh, man, this card was a workout, Connie. Make me work for this card. All right. I think we got it, though. This goes like that. And the only thing I have left to do is to stamp a happy, some sort of a nice greeting on the inside. The back, actually. I'm going to just stamp a greeting there. And it's definitely better to stamp that before you glue it on. So I'm going to wait to glue that. So, whew, yay. Better. You guys are all liking, you're all liking that better. Both are adorable. Good. Oh, man. That was a lot. So, created a little mess over here. We got lots of stuff. Fussy cut and galore. Pieces. So that paper that I used was the designer series paper from the nature walk. All right, and then again, this is what Connie has for her card. And then Connie, I don't know. Oh, all my help is leaving. They're all good. You guys, they must have gotten Let's Just Stamp all kitted up. Yay. All right, so on here it was scoring at 1 3/4, 5 3/4, and 7 1/2. And when we score at 7 1/2, that leaves a 3/4 inch. And I'm wondering if that should have been 7 5/8. So if anybody wants to do a test of the public broadcast system, I wonder 7 5/8. If you take 8.25 minus 7 5/8. What is 7 5/8? Like 7 5/8. Oh man. 5 divided by 8 plus 7 equals this minus 8.25 is, it's like 5/8. And I think that your gap here is 5/8. Yep, that's 5/8. So I think that this should be 7 5/8 instead of 7 1/2 would be my guess. No big. It doesn't make that big of a difference, you guys. It was just, if you did, then you would have a little bit more of an opening here. And then the DSP would be on the flap a little different, more of a smaller margin. So no big deal. It's all good in the hood. Very good. Congratulations to Connie for helping me out with this. I really appreciate it. She is going to be sending me more recipes because I have 3 of them that I'm going to send out to her. And Kelly Sheridan, I'll send you some recipes as well so that you can help me with a nice little class, right? You guys, I think all in all, since we've been starting this class, it's almost probably 3 years now that we've been doing this Share, Create, Inspire. Share and create, CSI, Create, Share, Inspire. We've only missed 1 or 2, so that's not so bad. That's all right. So, all right, we did it. So my goal was to use the notes of spring, and we did. And we accomplished making the recipe card per Connie's instructions. I didn't alter or edit anything really, so we went with the flow. So that was good. All right, do you guys have any questions? Thanks, Rosie. Hello, Mimi Henley, catching me live. Just want to say hello to you as well. Yay. We're just wrapping up, you guys. I realized that I kind of missed lunch and I'm starving. So I'm going to go find a Scooby snack and then clean this all up. And Kelly will be back in tomorrow or on Tuesday and we'll get pictures. What you guys need to do though is share your cards. If you go to the event, I don't know if I created the post yet, but we were in the event. No public service announcement from Patty Bennett. Are you using the new hybrid ink pad and Stampin' Blends? Oh man, here it is. I think you are going to find much better results than stamping on white when stamping on white willow cardstock. She didn't have any luck with basic white at all. Let it dry 24 hours. Ooh, otherwise you're going to get some smearing. Oh man. Okay, good. Thanks for that, Patty. All right, so in the event, you guys, I'll post this sometime soon in the next half a day or a day. I will post in this event. You're going to find, let's see, it's under past events now. So under past, I will have in the discussion, there will be a spot here where you can share your cards, right? So it's in the event, and when it's there, you can take pictures and post them, and then we'll do a drawing. What we'll do is include you in the drawing if you share a card that you made off of this recipe. We'll do the drawing next month. So, and that's almost here. It'll be next week, Thursday, that we do the drawing. So make sure you work on your cards this weekend or early next week and get them submitted so that they can be included. So, all right. Very good. What else do I need to go? I got cat fur, you guys. It just hangs out right here. So, all right, Sue Deppis, catch the replay. Sue, I'll see you tomorrow, okay? I laid out a whole bunch of things that you can help us start gluing together for the benefit. Oh, Connie Moore, no problem. So Connie said that she was sorry about the missed measurements. It's all good, you guys. I think what I will do is I will take a picture of this, and it's no big deal. Naughty Nancy says it's only paper. And it's not like somebody got hurt or stolen or lost, right? So we're all good. You know, we can improvise, and we may do with what we had. And what I'll do is I'll take these pictures and I'll re-upload them in the Facebook page in the event, and I'll also update the words are getting hard right now, and I'll update them and put them in the event. So no problem. Don't overthink it, and it's all good, you guys. We just go with the flow. So it's really okay. So, all right, you guys. I think we accomplished what we wanted to today. So lots of sunshine, love, and big hugs. We will see you on Monday night, definitely, for ink, paper, scissors. And then I will also be live at some point in the next 24 hours. By tomorrow night, my goal is to do the past classes showcase. Okay, so stay tuned for that. We'll get that going soon. So sorry about the cameras. I didn't mean for that to be doing that, but I'm going to leave everything charging right now so that by the time I do my next live that we won't have the camera issue. But thank goodness we didn't have to stop and start all over. So, all right, we love you guys. Bye.